with my beloved InMotion v11. However, to my point is to get the motor out of the unit, what we need to do is we need to disconnect all these cables that are in the head of the machine, and there's a circuit board in here that you can see in the other videos that I don't like doing, and I've absolutely had enough of opening this and I don't feel that we need to. I want to cut these cables and put a nice joiners here. So what do we got? We've got the 3 motor cables and then we got 5 sensor type wires. Now we've got a lot of clearance and space here, right? There's a cover that goes on this and we'll grab that off the floor. We've got our front cover, we've got our rear cover. The cables run down here, so there's plenty of clearance for us to put a brick there. We'll put the sliders in here to see what that looks like. With the upper and lower cutouts for the suspension sliders that the stop out knob sits in, I've marked here. The clearances we're talking about, if we cut these cables and put a joiner in, we're above the highest point and we've got plenty of room. Now when we move this arm down, that's when things get interesting. With the suspension slider at the lowest point in alignment, how much power cable access do we have? There is a fair bit in there. You can get a whole finger in there, so I think we will be able to get a nice plug connector to sit in there. That should sit quite secure, even if we do have to cut away the cover flap in half. So cutting the cable with a Stanley knife, the cover flap, very gently and carefully, I should be able to get these cables out one by one. Extremely slow and extremely careful at cutting. We've made fantastic progress. We've got the 2 out so far. Now we're on to the 3rd. Very slow, very clean and very controlled incisions to pop these cables out. Look at that, we got 3 out. I'm very happy with that. So I've opted going for a very sharp razor knife, cut off the top bit, and now I'm going to slice this way very gently and then pop the wires out one by one. Careful not to thing. But I am going to be cutting the cables here anyway, so a cut wouldn't be devastating. Working very slowly, I have just managed to get the red cable out. Fantastic. Wow, time for the blue. Again, repeating the same process, just cutting along very gently. I have been able to get the blue wire out. Seamless, no cutting into the cables. Slow and steady. We've got the yellow wire out, we've got 2 wires left. Progressively just cutting up on an angle to make the plastic as small as possible, rubber, so we can then slice it off the top. We're at the final stage of the last black wire to cut off the rubber mount. With all the cables, we finally got the rubber mount cut off in pieces and all cables are clean and intact.